Hey folks, Kelly Indy Smith here and welcome to my video. So it's been a minute, it has been a minute, but I'm back making this video. It's been so long since I've been wanting to make a video. I actually took a video while I was one day when I was coming home from work on the train. I tried to make a video and then the audio was just not, all that, and I was like, nah, like the intention behind doing it was there. It's kind of like this needs to get done, so if I have to do it there, whatever, let me do it. But it wasn't like up to standard, so that's why I didn't post it. But definitely, like, the longer I wait, the more things that come up in my head, the more reasonings that develop within me, and it's just like, okay, let's do this. So I apologize for that, but we're here today and just wanted to like tackle a few things before jumping into the video. Lock journey. This is my new lock journey. This is my official lock journey. That's all I'm gonna say about it for now. I don't intend to like really go deep into it. That's for another reason, in another time, another season, and all that stuff. The other thing I want to say, it's very hot today, that's why I'm dressed like this. And the third thing is that I don't have my lighter with me, but we all know where the light really is. Okay, so today I kind of want to touch on like a few things, but I'm going to try to keep it like concise. Like I said, it's been a while since I made a video, so there's a lot that's going on within me that I want to share. But I think I'll just start off by saying, lately I've been experiencing this sense of restlessness, this sense of awakening, this sense of apathy, almost this sense of indifference. And in my experience, that usually happens when you're going through an awakening, when you're going through this transition from another season in your life, or you're developing, you're becoming another version of yourself and all that stuff. So I am very aware of the internal inklings, the emotional feelings, the ups and downs, and the kind of like feeling of not belonging anywhere within an awakening. And that's just been where I've been at lately. And honestly, this is one of those awakenings where it's been happening for like the longest while. In the past, my first awakening with like just leaving Catholicism and all that stuff, it was very kind of quick, in the sense that, okay, this happened today, I became this different thing, and then that was me on my new journey. But now it's been something where it's been continuous. This is the longest awakening I have ever experienced. So it's been months on end of just experiencing these kind of feelings and these kind of like emotional chargings, those spiritual things, and all that comes with spiritual awakening. If you've experienced spiritual awakening, if you know what spiritual awakening, you know what I'm talking about. But specifically, what I want to share on it is the fact that what it has brought out in me is the realization that my desires for, especially with social media, like my desires for putting myself out there, my desires for helping mankind, my desires for sharing of myself, sharing my gifts and all that stuff, it is changing rapidly. It is changing in a way that I'm actually, I wouldn't say I'm scared, but I wouldn't say I'm indifferent either, but there's a word that I know that's out there, but I cannot think of it, or I don't know that word to experience that feeling of, it's not that you're scared or any of that, you're just waiting to see how this develops into the future, right? And so that has been with me just putting myself out there. That has been with me sharing aspects of my journey on social media. And as an artist, as a singer songwriter, as a leader, as an educator, and all those things, that is within me to naturally put out there. That is within me to like make my music, make my reasonings like this, write blogs, put them up and create little projects and stuff. Not little, but create projects and all that stuff. That's naturally in me to do it. But then once I get deeper into it, and once I get into the side of it where it's governed by all these things, people call them algorithms, all these things, there comes a compromise where you have to kind of bargain yourself for a response. So I in my position, and if you're anyone who creates content, anyone, you know that stuff, specific stuff you put online, it gets you likes. Certain stuff you do, the way you curate your life on social media, it gets you likes, it gets you approval, it gets you engagement and all that stuff. And I recognize that, I know that, but I don't want to do that. I don't feel the desire to share aspects of my life anymore on social media. And like I said, it's kind of one of those things where I'm eagerly waiting and anticipating how that is going to look for me in the future. Because right now, what I'm seeing is that my unwillingness to do that, my unwillingness to virtually sell myself, is, and if I had my lighter, this is when I put my lighter up, my unwillingness to virtually sell myself, it's kind of costing me in certain ways, right? So whether that's with the way persons interact with me, the way persons view me, the way I'm accepted, the way that I am interacted with, and all that stuff, it's kind of like, if persons are not visually appeased by me saying, hey, look at me, this is me, I'm sharing this with you, I'm sharing that with you, then no one wants to actually listen to the potency of exactly what is going on, of what I'm doing and all that stuff. And again, I understand the concept behind it, is that people want to see you, as a person. They want to connect with you, they want to know you, so that they feel that you're just like them and all that stuff. I am aware excuse me, I am fully aware of the psychology behind it, of the theories behind it. But again, I've just been experiencing this thing where I don't want to do that. I don't want to share my walks with social media. I don't want to share where I grab my coffee. I don't want to share the beautiful view that I had access to today. I don't want to share this beautiful salad that I'm eating right now. I don't want to share any of that. I don't want to share the love of my life with social media. I don't want to share the beautiful woman who helped me, get my lock journeys. I don't want to share any of that. And it's like, I'm not even saying that to be like, hey, like, look at all these things I'm saying, but it's just kind of like, there's that desire to keep that hidden. There's that desire in me that like I said, I'll find out what it is in the future, but I don't want to share that. Which brings me to something I shared on my social media, on my story on Instagram, that a lot of people, instead of progressing in their journey, instead of progressing in their spiritual walk, they're going to keep regressing in this space, because this space is governed by, okay, new, what's next. And as much as it's governed by new and what's next, it's also governed by the fact that it's stagnant. It's also governed by the fact that there's a lot of deception, in the sense that people do not even understand and realize that there are so many parallel, non-parallel, past, time-lapsing experiences and awakenings that is going on within the spaces of social media. So you have so many people who are coming of age, so many people who are growing, who are maturing and all that stuff, and it's like you're in a space where all that is just jumbled up. It's not like there's a category to be like, okay, this is from this era, this is from these people, this happened 5 years ago and whatnot. Like, sometimes people circulate stuff and there's ideas, there's videos and all these things that are being shared, consciousnesses that are being shared, passed around on social media, and these things may have been of old, and it's like now we're kind of like regurgitating it, or we're kind of like accepting it without realizing that this was already done. Like, what's next? And for a lot of us, like I was saying, persons who we're trying to get something from social media, as far as putting stuff out there, you're getting that the compromise for that, and what you need to do is to keep up with that. But what if you keep up with that at the cost of maturing into who you really are supposed to be? Honestly speaking, stuff like TikTok and all those stuff, they don't excite me. And I'm not hating on anyone who does it. Like, that's you. That has nothing to do with me. But the more I think about it, those days of me wanting to integrate myself, perform for social media in that theatrical slash like um comedic way of like coming of age and social commentary kind of thing, like that era for me was like a teenager. And it's like, where do I turn to now, becoming into this young woman, maturing into this woman, maturing into this spiritual creature, when everyone is still stuck in this space that is now being governed by younger women who are trying to come up, by teenagers. I feel like we should be paving it forward, but there's that compromise that needs to happen. There's that sacrifice that needs to be made, where it's like, are you willing to pay the cost of forfeiting that and trusting that there is something else on the other side of your awakening that's saying, nope, that's not for me? Are we willing to trust that? And like I said, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not that I'm fearful, but I'm just like anticipating, like, where is this gonna lead me? And it's not to say that certain times I won't share aspects of my journey. I will share spiritual truths. I will share aspects of my spiritual awakening, like I am right now. But that exploitation of who I am to just fit into this paradigm, to fit into this this idea, this philosophy, I can't do that. I cannot do that. And I guess I'm also speaking to persons, if you've made it to this point in the video, obviously you are interested in what I have to say. I'm just gonna put that out there. Like, I cannot be a puppet on a string. I cannot just be like doing all these things just to fit whatever egos, whatever vices that we are feeding by our habits. And a lot of, the main thing is that most of this is subconscious. We're not consciously deciding to do that. I remember one time someone very, very close to me, very, very close to me, I hadn't seen the person in a while, almost like 10 years. And when I met the person, they wanted to take a picture. And then I said, you could take the picture, but don't post it. And they were like, then what's the point of taking the picture if I don't post it? And I took that to the heart. I took that to the heart. But it's like those kind of awakenings, like, they are truthful. And I'm encouraging you as well, if you're experiencing those kind of awakenings that are, giving you second thoughts about certain aspects of like social media, certain aspects of how you interact with people, certain aspects of how you share your life, how you document your life, how you digitally archive your life, you are not alone. And do not fear, and also do not conform. Conforming is not always a bad thing. Sometimes conforming could be the way that you fight. But when it comes to something that is harming you, harming your well-being, do not conform. And I refuse to conform. I refuse to conform. And I refuse to ignore what like the spirit is telling me. I refuse to ignore that thing in my gut that says this feels weird. I refuse to ignore that. I've been through enough to know that that is the GPS, that is the God positioning system trying to warn you of something. If I had my lighter, the gas would be out right now. I've said enough. Peace.